How's it going, everybody? It is Visual. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Pain over here in the NU tier. Got some more NU battles in this video. If you do enjoy these, make sure to hit that like button on the video, and the team I'm using is in the description, made by Moron5. It is a pretty good team. Now, Pain does have a Slowbro on his team that moved up from the NU tier to the RU tier. This battle happened before that, so just keep that in mind. Can't use Slowbro or Deancey anymore in the NU tier since they did move up. So, just going to lead off with Quagsire as he led off with Hitmonlee. I go into my Xatu as I do not want to catch a high jump kick to the face, or he goes for a fake out, but he is Life Orb, so no normal jump. That's pretty good. He didn't go for a knockoff as well, because that would do a lot of damage to Xatu. In comes Incineroar. I don't want to take a knockoff to the face, so I'm going to switch out my Xatu into Quag. But he goes for the Swords Dance right off the bat, and ooh, that is going to hurt. But Quagsire does have the ability Unaware, and it is going to ignore any stat boost that you raise. So Incineroar's +2 attack is not going to do anything. Well, he does go for the Malicious Moonsault Z move. Now that's going to do something with the Darkest Lariat move, but it's not going to work with +2. So I predict that, and I go for Recover over here because I don't want to go for a Waterfall and not to knock him out, and then he does that kind of damage. He might be able to knock me out with a Darkest Lariat afterwards, so that's why I Recover. And luckily, he is pretty much not going to be able to stay in because now I can just Toxic him and just Recover and pretty much just like get rid of anything that he goes for. But he brought in Blastoise, which Blastoise usually do have the move Refresh. If they do get status, they can refresh that away. But I could take advantage of that and go into my Sceptile. Sceptile with Life Orb, Focus Blast, Hidden Power Ice, Giga Drain, Leaf Storm, hits like a truck in the NU tier. I love using it. Luckily, it just goes for a Scald. No burn as well, and now I like to play aggressive with my Sceptile. I like to try and predict him to switch out as well. I don't like to attack what's in front of me, so I'm just going to go for the Focus Blast, and there it is. He brings in the Steelix now. Obviously, Leaf Storm is pretty dang safe. It knocks out Blastoise if you wanted to stay in, if you did have Ice Beam, but, I mean, it still does a lot to Blastoise, and I like to speed up the game sometimes, and luckily I hit the Steelix. And even if I did Leaf Storm to Steelix, maybe I knock him out with a Giga Drain afterwards, but depends really if he's max special defense, something like that. But yeah, I go for Giga Drain, just knock him out since I hit that Focus Blast. In comes Ambipom. I don't want to take a fake out since Sceptile's HP is limited unless I go for Giga Drain every single time and regain my health. So Quagsire is also a nice switch in. Most Ambipoms don't have a grass move like Seed Bomb and whatever. He goes for the knockoff, gets rid of my leftovers. I just Toxic him, and yeah, Quagsire just does what it does best: take on the physical attackers, unless they're banded, and we're hitting me with a super effective move. Then Quagsire can Toxic them down and wall them as well. This team is pretty annoying with the Xatu, Milk Tank, and Quagsire, I can tell you that. And then the hard hitters: Sneasel, Fly, Indium Z, Braviary, and then Sceptile. So well-balanced team. Not gonna lie, well-balanced team. He brings in the Blastoise though as I just recover. I want to be as healthy as possible to take on his physical attackers. He pulls a nice double, expecting me to want to switch into Sceptile onto the Blastoise, but it does not matter. I can easily just switch right back out. You're Toxic, so sooner or later you'll be taking and racking up more damage. Leftovers is not going to save you, and in the long run, yeah, I'm just going to win out. Like, he's Toxic, he has to continuously switch and do something. Pretty much he's in a pretty tough position, but he does have ways. He does have Hitmonlee, so I am going to go into Xatu here, but it is going to be risky because he can go for the knockoff, and lo and behold, he does go for the knockoff. Hits me with that super effective hits. Doesn't knock me out though. I do have Rocky Helmet, and he takes so much chip from that. Now, I'm surprised he went for a jump kick here because I showed Protect versus the Hitmonlee before with the Xatu, so I was really surprised with that because I could have protected right there, and then he crashes and loses Hitmonlee. But hey, to each their own. So he got my Xatu. I probably should have protected, but just an off chance he switched. I didn't want to. I wanted to roost, I think. I brought in Sceptile, speeds Hitmonlee, and I can just go for the Giga Drain safely. And with that little chip damage on Incineroar, since I know it's offensive Incineroar, not a bulky Incineroar, Focus Blast should be able to knock it out. And you know what? I'm going to risk it, and we hit 75%, 78% actually, not 75. And yeah, like I said, I could switch out and, you know, make the game a lot longer, but if I had the Focus Blast, I might as well just go for it, even though Sceptile literally just comes in and clicks buttons versus the entire team. So, yeah, Ambipom just comes back out. I don't want to get faked out. Go to Quagsire, utterly wall the crap out of it. Luckily, it's not that nasty spot Ambipom I ran into before. I uploaded Wi-Fi battle with that nasty spot Ambipom. It was pretty funny, but pretty cool at the same time. So, he does some good chip right there. Brings me down to half, but I got that recover. luckily I'm not statused, and it's good to go. So in comes the banned mod Incineroar. Not really banned, it's just kind of moved up. I guess technically banned. But I got Milk Tank with Thick Fats. I'm able to take anything, really. Even if he starts Calm Minding, Seismic Toss should do a decent chunk. Even though Slowbro has some pretty good HP. I can't Toxic him as well. He would have to be like Rest, Sleep Talk, but even then, Sceptile can probably just come in and just Leaf Storm and blow him back. Giga Drain first, maybe, if he starts Calm Minding up. And yeah, then I have Sneasel knock off as well, but if he doesn't have an item, that could be a little bit problematic. So he Thunder Waves me. I feel like Slowbro always liked to run that Thunder Wave and just paralyze me, but oh well. I go for Seismic Toss, he brings in Blastoise, and you know what that allows me to do. I might go into Sceptile and just hit him up with another hit, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just stay in and go for a Seismic Toss, because I can, but no, I'm just going to switch out. Because, what is Blastoise going to do to a Sceptile? He doesn't have Ice Beam. He could, like, definitely. I've seen Blastoises that can bait in some Pokemon. I've seen, like, Specs Water Spout Blastoise. So you got to be careful, obviously. Not every Blastoise is going to be a defensive Rapid Spin Refresh Scald set. So, and Toxic. They like to run Toxic as well. But luckily, he is. And, yeah, Sceptile takes advantage of that. Giga Drains the Blastoise. And down it goes. In comes Hitmonlee. And Hitmonlee can go for the Fake Outs if he wants to, but I am going to just switch right back into Quagsire. I don't really need Quagsire anymore, too. I'm just going to stay in and go for a Waterfall, even if he had Jump Kicks me. His team is pretty much just going to lose now. To either Braviary. Braviary could take anything on with Flying EMZ. He has Vikavolt left, I think, right? He has Vikavolt, Slowbro, I'm pretty sure. Something. No, he has Impulse. Never mind. That's a different opponent that has Vikavolt. He has Impulse and Slowbro, but Impulse can't knock out the Braviary. And I can Brave Bird and knock him out. And if I get Brave Bird damage on the Slowbro, I can Flying EMZ it and knock it out. Flying EMZ is a pretty nice tech on the Braviary. I like that a lot. Most people would expect Scarf. Especially if you run into an Incineroar, they intimidate you, you get the Defiant boost, and you can switch up moves. So this Braviary has U-Turn, Roost, Superpower, and Brave Bird. And that is the damage I needed for Flying EMZ to knock out Slowbro. And I'm just going to do that. Blow back. And then Impalm is just going to... I think he just forfeits after that. Because he knows he can't, you know, win with Impalm. It's just not going to do enough versus my team and knock out everything. Covets is a pretty cool move on Impalm. Never really see that too much ever. Covet. Covet, what does that do? The user has no item, it steals the targets, and it's 60 base power. That's pretty cool. I like that. So, GG to Pain. Next up we got is going to be Yuki over here. Yuki with the Sticky Webs team. We got Wigglytuff as well. That's pretty cool. Maybe it's a reverse Sticky Webs team. Probably not, though. Probably not. Well, maybe, because I did run reverse Sticky Webs. He could be the skill swap. That's what it is, I think, Zatsu, and then eject button to Shuckle, get Sticky Web up, and then have competitive Wigglytuff. But maybe it's like for default, because he has Defiant Braviary as well, and then also a Rapid Spin blocker with the Rotom. So when you look at it, it does make sense. He wants to punish Defog or Rapid Spinners. And probably not run my weird reverse Sticky Webs team, but hey, it's fun. So I'll lead off with Milk Tank, as Milk Tank can Toxic, it can take any hits, it can just get my rocks as well. But he might predict that and go into Zatsu, so I'm going to pull Switch into my Zatsu as well, because I do not want him to get webs up or rocks. I just want to stop that, bounce him right back. But he goes for Infestation, which is fine. I can just, you know, U-turn on out. I'm not really trapped. But he is taking Rocky Helmet damage when he went for that. That's pretty cool. And plus, I do want to maybe want to go for a Toxic, but at the same time, he might go into his Zatsu, so I go for Nightshade first. And lo and behold, he does go into his Zatsu. Don't want to, you know, just throw out some status moves, stuff like that, when he has a Zatsu on his team. That could be really bad. I'd rather just, like, throw off some moves first. He does have the Air Slash. That does a decent chunk, not going to lie, but I do take that, and I'm going to switch out after I go for another Nightshade back into my Milk Tank, because I have Seismic Toss, and I can go for that and take any special attacking moves Zatsu wants to go for, because Milk Tank is specially defensive, the standard set, pretty much. Some people would run Sap Sipper over Thick Fat. I like Thick Fat more, though. Sap Sipper is pretty nice for those grass types, though. So he brings in Rotom, as he probably predicted me to want to go for a Seismic Toss. That's a given. I'm a normal type, obviously. Maybe Bottle Slam as well. He misses Wisp right there. I just go for a Milk Drink. I expected him to probably want to go for a Volt Switch, but I guess not. I thought he'd expect me to switch into, like, Sceptile or something like that. I'm not too sure. Now he reveals he has the Volt Switch, so he's not Scarf. I know that for a fact. So he's probably like Colbur Berry or Papa Berry. Most Rotoms are in the NU tier, I would say. Maybe Z-Move as well. I've seen Z-Move with Wisp. So, brings in Wigglytuff as I get those rocks up, because sometimes Rotom like to be defogged, but he might just be defogged Zatsu as well, or just no defog, because, you know, sometimes they like to run that with Magic Bounce, no defog, because they rely on Magic Bounce. But he got the rocks with the Wigglytuff, so that's pretty cool. He got his rocks up against me. I guess Shuckle doesn't have rocks, maybe? I mean, it is Infestation. Maybe it's some kind of weird Shuckle set. But at the same time, it could do work if it's like catching people off guard. He brings in Dead Man to Cacturne as I go for a Seismic Toss. I'm just going to do some good damage to that because Cacturne doesn't have the best HP. As you can see, Seismic Toss does more damage when the opponent has lesser HP. Like, you know what Seismic Toss does. So, he goes for Drain Punch, and yeah, I don't want to go for Milk Drink. He goes for Drain Punch again. I don't want to get Sucker Punched as well. So I'm going to switch out my Milk Tank into my Braviary, because Braviary can take the Drain Punch, I can dodge Sucker Punch. I do take rocks, but he should be scared out because he does not see any leftovers on my Braviary. I did sweep Yuki before with a Bulk Up Braviary. You should check that out. I uploaded it recently with Braviary Bulk Up. But he still stays in and clicks that Drain Punch, so I guess he didn't fear the Scarf. I remember he said that he just didn't want to mess around with Braviary and not let me set up for free, so he just wanted to Drain Punch. So hey, kudos to you. I could have blown this Cacturne back, but he got the right play, predicted me to maybe go for a Roost or just wanted to attack me, who knows. So I bring in Sneasel. Sneasel can easily go for an Icicle Crash and blow back Cacturne, but he switches it out into the Rotom. Rotom can take that because he has the Eye of Papa Berry. He is going to be in a pinch and eat that Pinch Berry and gain back some HP, but it does not matter because I'm Banded Icicle Crash, and you're in range of getting knocked out from a Banded Icicle Crash, so you're going to go down. I could miss, but I'm still going to risk it because I'm a risker, so yeah. He goes into Shuckle. I don't want to get infestationed with my Sneasel, so I'm going to switch out. Sneasel could be good for the Cacturne, unless he Swords Dances up, that could be bad. And plus Milk Tank can take anything, and I can maybe Milk Drink and maybe even Toxic to Shuckle, Seismic Toss, and stuff like that. So maybe I should have won the Xatu right there, but whatever. He got the webs up, that's fine. I mean, most of my Pokemon are pretty fast, or faster than his Pokemon. And at the same time, the slow Pokemon can maybe wall his Pokemon as well. But Cacturne is a problem. You gotta be careful of Cacturne, especially if it Swords Dances up. You gotta always be careful of that. And if it's Focus Sash as well. So, but, I mean, I break the Focus Sash with Stealth Rock, so it's not the end of the world. So he infestations me. I'm trapped, but, I mean, I'm not too worried if he doesn't status me, because I have Milk Drink and recover my HP, but I decided to just go for the Seismic Toss and just knock out the Shuckle either way. Because I felt like Milk Tank, looking at his team, it didn't really do too much anymore. So he brings in Braviary. He goes for the Frustration, doesn't even knock out Milk Tank. I guess he didn't have a minimum happiness on his Braviary right there. He could have knocked me out, but nope, I got that beautiful Toxic off on him. Always got to make sure your Pokemon have the minimum happiness if you're running Frustration, or if they have the max happiness, you want to run Return. I mean, I've been in the same situation before. Many people have as well. You just kind of forget because every little detail kind of matters sometimes. So he finally knocks me out to my Milk Tank. I bring in Quagsire as it can easily wall the crap out of the Braviary. I just go for Toxic just in case he switches out. You never know. But he stays in because I thought maybe he'd want to switch out and let Braviary Brave Bird, because I guess he's locked into Frustration, obviously, because he's not going for Brave Bird. Maybe he's Scarf Braviary. That's pretty common as well. I just go for Curse to take advantage of this and raise my attack, my defense, and pretty much be even more bulky and insanely hard to kill. So I guess he's maybe trying to go for a crit now, and at the same time, I mean, Braviary is going to go down to rocks if he does switch out, so it doesn't really matter. But I mean, he does have Cacturne, and it could have a grass move and just blow me back probably. Even though I have a plus defense boost, it still probably blows me back. But he goes into Xatu, so maybe this has grass now. I'm not too sure. Almost goes down. I am going to switch out because what if he does have a grass move? I want to keep it. And I can just go into Xatu as a sack since mine doesn't really do much anymore. He can Sucker Punch it with his Cacturne. He probably outspeeds mine as well. And yeah, he just goes for Psychic. So I'll go into Sneasel. Sneasel does just easily one-shot the Xatu with the Ice Shard. And yeah, I'm just going to probably sweep his team with Ice Shard maybe as well. With Cacturne probably going down, I can maybe live a Sucker Punch as well. Wigglytuff might live an Ice Shard, so I probably don't want to stay in. I'm going to switch out and maybe let him rack up some Toxic damage first. So going to Quagsire as a sack to Wigglytuff, and Wigglytuff does have a decent amount of special attack. Not too much, but it's good enough, especially if you're running max special attack, Modest or something like that. So Quagsire is not going to take that. Obviously, Quagsire is not the special defensive monster. It's a defensive monster. So it's going to go down to Hyper Voice crits, but I don't think it matters. It probably goes down either way. Ice Shard should be able to knock out Wigglytuff, but I think I'm going to Sceptile. Yeah, I'm going to Sceptile first because just in case Ice Shard doesn't. I want to go into Sceptile because Sceptile does outspeed really tough. And hidden power, I do miss right there, which would have sucked. I went for Leaf Storm because I don't know. I just went for it. I should have went for Giga Drain. Maybe Giga Drain didn't knock him out. I think that's what I was thinking because Wigglytuff does have pretty good HP, really good HP. It's like 140. But yeah, luckily you both missed moves there. It's like nothing happens. He missed his Fire Blast. I missed my Leaf Storm. Go for Hidden Power Ice as Cacturne comes down and actually one-shots it. So nice. Sceptile just bodied the last remaining of his team right there. So yeah, Sceptile barely has any switch-ins. So that's going to be a GG versus Yuki. Next up, we got versus Sam+Argon. Looking at his team, we got Mega Bomb Snow. Probably, I was thinking Specs Pyroar, maybe a Specs Life Orb or Zenith Vigavolt. Sock could be Scarf. I've seen even Zenith Sock. Blastoise probably a bulky Rapid Spinner, and Steelix probably the Rocker. So he has some hard hitters and some good defensive backbone. So I got to be careful. But Sceptile, looking at his team, man, it just clicks buttons as well if I hit those Focus Blasts because he has a lot of fighting and grass weaknesses with Sceptile. But Vigavolt can't take a hit, so I got to get Rocks up. That's what my plan. But first, I lead off with Braviary because Braviary, looking at his team, oh, it clicks buttons versus him. I love it. So he leads off with Bomb Snow. He probably does not want to take a Brave Bird and just loses a Bomb Snow. So I go for Superpower, maybe expect him to want to go into Steelix, but he does bring in the Vigavolt as I go for the Superpower. So that's a nice play. Maybe he was expecting me to be Scarfed and go for Superpower. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to sack Vigavolt. Maybe he wanted me to be bluffed by a Scarf Vigavolt. I don't know. Either way, I just click that Flying Z. Nobody really runs Scarf Vigavolt, so I just click it. Even at -1 attack, Braviary has a pretty good chance at knocking out Vigavolt, even at level 50 as well, because, you know, level 50, the rolls are higher for Pokemon than at level 100. So, Vigavolt does go down to the Fly Z right there, and Braviary claims the first life, first blood. But he brings in Pyroar, and I'm like, okay, I can bring in Milk Tank. I got that thick fat. I'm specially defensive. I can take anything Pyroar wants to go for, but then he reveals Return. I'm like, what is this? And then he reveals he is not max happiness. Ah, man. Ay, ay, ay. What is with people just forgetting? I mean, I forget too. It's not their fault. I mean, I guess technically it is, but at the same time, we all forget. I mean, can't really hold it against them. And also, it does really suck for him because he said he was banded Moxie, and that would two-shot Milk Tank probably after hail damage. I mean, it still does a lot, and I'm pretty much forced to Milk Drink too, so he can fish for a crit as well. And yeah, it would just really, really suck that he was max happiness. Luckily, he wasn't, and I get my Rocks up as he goes into Sock. I'm pretty much going to Braviary because I expect him to probably want to go for a knockoff, predicting me to want to go into Xatu, and also Braviary is kind of like a sack as well, because looking at my team, Braviary just does the least amount of work for some. Funny enough, right? Braviary, the amazing Pokemon, doing the least amount of work, right? I don't know. I mean, I picked that as a sack, whatever. And plus, it does capitalize if he does go for a knockoff, predicting Xatu, and it does. And I can U-turn as he goes into 24 carats, the Steelix, as I bring in Xatu. Xatu can pretty much take on a lot of Steelixes unless they have a rock move, but most of them don't, so I can take advantage of that. And they definitely don't want to touch me with a Heavy Slam or Jar Ball because I have Rocky Helmet. He brings in the Stoice as I go for a Nightshade. Actually, do I have U-turn on this Xatu? I don't think I did. I think I said I did, but I don't. I have Nightshade, Roost, Toxic, and Protect. Yeah, I don't have U-turn. What am I saying? Yeah, because I remember I said that earlier in the video. But yeah, I bring in Sceptile as he goes for a Scald. You know, Sceptile taking advantage of those bulky Blastoises. I predict him to want to switch out. I go for Focus Blast, but he switched into Power and I miss. But I go for it again, even though I missed, because I'm a risk taker and I go for it. And I feel like he'd probably, I don't know if he would go for a Fire move when I still have my Milk Tank, but maybe he'd hope that I wasn't thick fat. I'm not too sure. Either way, we hit it and it's done. And he comes to the Bomb Snow. I don't want to get Ice Sharded, and plus I don't want to miss another Focus Blast. So I'm a risk taker, but I'm not that risky, you know, when I don't have to. I can bring in Milk Tank safely and take any hit because I'm thick fat. I could take an Ice move. Fire and Ice types. They don't do much. As you can see, the Ice Shard did absolutely zero, but the Mega Bomb Snow's Giga Drain is going to do a decent chunk. And he does get some critical hits as well as he goes for Seismic Toss. I probably should have went for a Toxic because, man, I am forced to Milk Drink over and over again, and he is regaining all that HP after that critical hit. And I'm taking a Hail on top of that. Milk Tank is pretty much just forced to Milk Drink over and over again because I do not want to lose to Mega Bomb Snow at all. So that's pretty much what I do at this given moment. I need some water. Also, reminder to drink some water today. Stay hydrated. Water is your best friend. But don't drink too much water. Just enough. So, yeah. We just milk drinking, like I said, just trying to gain as much HP as possible. Staying out of range of getting knocked out, but he crits me again. So that kind of sucks. Obviously, Milk Tank would have been gone if he was max happiness Pyroar. I would have been able to do this, pretty sure. But hey, I mean, you know, 4% chance every single time. Come on, man. It's not my fault. So finally, he switched out to Sock right there. I mean, I was gaining HP. He'd have to continuously critical hit me, and Hail was running out as well. So it makes sense for him to switch out. And obviously, I don't want to take a close combat, so I'm going to predict him to go for close combat and go into Zatu, as he does go for that. And I'm pretty sure he's like a Scarf set on Sock, looking at his team. So that's why he doesn't switch around his moves. Which is pretty lucky for me, because I can play around that. So then comes the Stoice again on my Zatu. I just go for a Nightshade, because I want damage on his team. I don't really need to go for Toxic, especially because Blastoises carry a Refresh. And I just go for a Nightshade again. Maybe he predicts me to go into Sceptile and takes advantage of that and goes into a Bomb Snow, so that's why I Nightshaded. Also, it does some good damage. Like, I can knock out Blastoise if he wants to go for a Rapid Spin, and he did. And he knocks himself out from that Rocky Helmet. And, yeah, he doesn't get the Stealth Rocks off the field, because actually, if you go for Rapid Spin and you knock yourself out, you don't get rid of the rocks. So that's, like, perfect scenario for me to go for Nightshade right there. Always remember that. If they have Rapid Spin and they knock themselves out, they don't get rid of the rocks. So if Bomb Snow takes those rocks, I go to Sneasel because I expect him to go for Blizzard, and I can go for a nice Banded Icicle Crash, but Mega Bomb Snow is bulky as crap, and it takes that, and it lives, and it knocks me out with the Giga Drain. Man, that Blizzard did so much, and Giga Drain just follows it up with knocking out Sneasel. But hey, that's to be expected. Sneasel's pretty frail. I bring in Braviary because I was like, man, Braviary doesn't go down to an Ice Shard. No way. Braviary is bulky, and I go down because I got critical hit. Man, this Mega Bomb Snow is a crit master. Oh, man, that's pretty cool, though. I feel like, even though I feel like maybe Braviary went down to an Ice Shard, I don't know, I didn't calculate. I feel like it did. So I bring in Milk Tank, I go for Cyber Toss, and guess what? Critical hits me again. I'm like, what is this? But it's still okay because I can probably still win. Because I can probably take another move and go for a Toxic. But he actually switches out to Sock right there. So Sock actually gets Toxic. I didn't go for Milk Drink because I was like, you know, I'm tired of this. Put this Mega Bomb Snow on a timer. I'm tired of you Giga Draining, regaining all your health back. Like, put this thing on a timer already. Hail does go away right there, so that's probably why he switched out. He wants to Hail up so he can't miss Blizzard as well and chip damage as well at the same time. And also Sock can take anything Milk Tank wants to go for it. I decided to stay in because I was like, you know what, Milk Tank, you did your job, you're good. I think I got this in the bag now. You don't need to stay anymore. So he goes for close combat, knocks me out. And plus, if you predicted, expecting me to go into Zatu, hey, that's a bonus. So now I can go into Zatu, throw off a Nightshade, and pretty much that's going to be some good damage on anything that he wants to bring in. Steelix, that's not going to take care of Zatu. I can pretty much Nightshade continuously on this. Like, whatever he does, he has to have, like, Dragon Tail or something to do something. Or maybe, like, Rest. Rest could be kind of scary if he does have that, but most Steelixes don't, and he just has Iron Head. So he takes that Rocky Helmet damage as I just continuously Nightshade him. I go for Roost, though, because I do want to stay as healthy as possible so I can be out of range from Ice Shard. He goes for Stealth Rock, just maybe hoping that I don't have Max Bounce, or maybe I switch out, but I mean, it's to be expected. He doesn't want to take Rocky Helmet damage as well, because pretty much he's going to be knocking himself out. So I go for another Nightshade. He takes that Rocky Helmet, and down he goes, knocking himself out. So, man, Zatu with that Rocky Helmet. It's been doing work. I always love that Zatu magic bounce with Rocky Helmets. In comes the Snow. Now I could go for the Nightshade and knock him out, which I do, as he goes for Ice Shard. And, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I could just go for it, because he's in range. And if you crit me again, goddamn, I feel like he would crit literally every single move and just knock me out. But I don't know. Maybe I still got in the bag with Sceptile. So, in comes Sock. I can go down to the Ice Punch. I probably even lost if he Ice Sharded and knocked me out, because I think Sceptile goes down to Ice Shard, and then he just Giga Drains Quagsire. He would have won if he crit there. Luckily, he didn't. So he locks himself in Ice Punch. I go into Quagsire. He could freeze me, but he is Toxic, and the timer is up on Sock, and luckily I didn't get frozen. I just knock him out with the Waterfall, and that is going to be game. So, yeah, GG to Sam OU. That sucks that he forgot about the happiness on the Pyroar, and even though I did get critted a lot, it's not really his fault, obviously, because it's just a game. I still pulled through, so that's awesome. Even though it's not bad that he got all those crits. Like, I'm not complaining or anything. It's just kind of funny. Like, geez, how many can you get? I wish I was that lucky. I mean, sometimes I am. It's Pokemon. I play a lot. probably way too much as well. So last game we got is versus Argon. Looking at his team, he got Swanna, which is pretty cool, and a Alolan Raichu. I like that because those are PU mons. You don't see them too much in the NU tier. And also, Swanna is pretty nice with that water and flying stab, and also Z move as well. So pretty interested to see what Argon has. He has a lot of offensive Pokemon, so it's going to be a slugfest with us just probably knocking each other's Pokemon out each turn. So, yeah, he leads off with the Incineroar as a lead off with Juju the Baby. Take advantage of that Defiant because he has Intimidate, and Meowmix does not want to intimidate a Braviary because we raise our attack, baby. +1 Braviary is here to ready to knock a Pokemon out, but I go for Superpower as he goes into Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke is obviously going to take that because it's immune to fighting, but I got that Brave Bird and down it goes. Maybe he was hoping that'd be Scarf Braviary with Superpower, but I am Flying MZ, so I just blow back to Decidueye and knock him out. Awesome. In comes Rugby the Passimian. Now, I do want to keep Braviary because it's pretty nice. I didn't want to get blown back by a close combat if he was banded. Looking at his team, I wasn't too sure if he would be banded or Scarf, so I make the safe play going into Zatu. But he makes a nice play going for that U-turn right there. Just trying to scout, I guess, and maybe... I mean, I probably could have knocked out another mon if I stayed in. I probably should have stayed in with Braviary, but like I said, I was scared of Banded because he just brought it in. I think Banded is the only thing that can knock out Braviary. I don't think Scarf Close Combat can knock me out from the range I was at. Either way, I make a really risky play over here, going for the Toxic on the Incineroar as he goes for knockoff and just blows me back. So yeah, I be making some risky plays. I probably shouldn't have done that because I have a really easy switch in, which is Quagsire, to utterly take on Incineroars. Even if I get knocked off, I can just recover continuously on Incineroar, and I could just Waterfall and even Curse. So yeah, I lost one of my best switch-ins to Passimian, especially if it's Choice Scarf. Gotta be careful of that close combat. But I bring a Milk Tank, get my rocks up, which is really important. But losing Zatu means that Steelix is also going to be a problem as well, because I can't stop him from getting up rocks, and he can freely just throw off Toxics, Gyro Balls, Heavy Slams, Earthquakes on my team, where Zatu would punish all of that, and even wall it. So I got to go into Quagsire because I don't really want to bring in Sceptile or Sneasel on a Steelix. Sneasel doesn't even do much. Sceptile is the best bets, but I don't want to take a Heavy Slam, and I don't want to miss Focus Blast, so yeah. That's why Quagsire is a play, but he does have the Toxic on deck, and it's going to put Quagsire in a timer, so it's not looking too good. I already messed up this game with not staying in versus Passimian, switching in the Zatu, and staying in on the Incineroar with that. And then, yeah, just losing Zatu just really bit me in the booty right here, because now the Steelix is going to do a lot of damage versus my team. It takes Sceptile does take the Earthquake, but obviously he does have a switch into Sceptile, which is pretty nice, which is the Incineroar. And I think I go for Giga Drain or Leaf Storm because I didn't want to miss Focus Blast. I don't know, I forget. Did I go for Focus Blast? Yeah, I just go for Giga Drain because I didn't want to miss, and I gained HP back. And I was pretty sure he would switch out. And I was pretty much just like not playing as my aggressive self, going for a Focus Blast, predicting to want to go into Incineroar. I was playing a little safe at the same time. I like risk it first and safe, which is not a good combo, I would say. I like to play maybe aggressive in the beginning, then safe at the end sometimes. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. So still, Quagsire comes in on Incineroar. I expect him to switch out over here because obviously you don't want to lose Incineroar to Quagsire. Maybe he has that Pinch Berry. But he stays in and goes for a knockoff and crits me and gets rid of my leftovers as I go for Toxic. So yeah, that's really, really bad right there. And then at this point, I'm like, alright, yeah, Passimian's just going to come in and click that close combat and I lose. Like, I literally have nothing for Passimian's close combat. The only way I can beat Passimian, if he's not Choice Scarf, and somehow he lets me like Ice Shard him when he goes for close combat 3 times, and then somehow Sneasel can win the game. But I mean, he still has that Steelix, so I don't know. So in comes Raichu. He goes for the Volt Switch. I was kind of praying that this would be Scarf or something like that, but obviously it's not. There's no way. And like Passimian would be banded, but judging from the damage from the U-turn, it wasn't banded at all. So at least he brings in Steelix on my Milk Tank. I'm pretty happy about that. Milk Tank can weaken it with the Seismic Toss, and maybe Ice Shard can win. Like, that's my plan at least. So yeah, he's letting me weaken him with the Seismic Tosses right here. He does want to go for a Toxic though, and I guess he doesn't want to risk going into Passimian as well. Maybe Milk Tank has something to take on Passimian or take advantage of it, and he just doesn't want to risk it because it is a pretty good win con. Obviously, you want to keep your win con safe. Maybe sack a Pokemon, then bring him in safely, which is smart to do. But he's going to switch right back out. He doesn't want Steelix to get weakened enough where Sneasel can probably knock it out with Ice Shard, and he goes into Raichu. Seismic Toss does do a lot of damage because Raichu doesn't have the best HP. But even with Milk Tank Toxic and I have Soft Boil and not going to go down. I mean, I am going to go down to a Thunderbolt. I'm not going to be able to knock out the Alolan Raichu right there. Bring in Sceptile. Sceptile could take a Scarf Thunderbolt if he is that, but I'm pretty sure he's not. He is not. I go for Giga Drain. I'm pretty sure maybe like Z-move Alolan Raichu, maybe even Electric Terrain as well. Alolan Raichu Z-move is pretty nice. Fighting MZ, Electric MZ, you know the drill. You can do a lot. Even maybe Water MZ Surf. Probably not though. So, in comes Passimian, my worst nightmare when you lose a Xatu and your Quagsire. Down goes Sceptile to the Scar close combat. And I'm just like, alright, maybe he stays in versus my Sneasel and I can knock him out with Ice Shard and then knock out everything else out with Ice Shard. That's going to be the plan. So, I sack Braviary. I should have just stayed in versus it with the Passimian. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I told you what I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be banded, but he wasn't. I mean, just looking at the scene, he probably wasn't banded. Like, it looks Scarf. I mean, most Passimians are Scarf. So, also Swanna could be the Z-mover as well. I was thinking that maybe Raichu could be Specs and Swanna could be Z-move, but Swanna does go down to the 2 Ice Shards, but he's smart to switch out the Passimian because obviously he had -2 defense from the close combats, so he doesn't want to maybe get critted from Ice Shard. And also he does have Psych, the Steelix, and it can easily take the Ice Shard to the face. It does absolutely nothing. And then blew me back with a Heavy Slam. So that is going to be GG versus Argon. Really messed up. But hey, still the good game versus Argon. And yeah, he played it safe. Kudos to him. Playing it safe with the Passimian and not risking much. Because you turning on Braviary, he doesn't want to get Brave Birded on, go for close combat and not knock me out. And yeah, just all around, just took advantage of me playing a little risky as well. So that is going to be it for the NU Wi-Fi battles today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Really good ones today. If you do want to Wi-Fi battle me, my Discord is in the description. If you do want to battle other people as well, you can there. And just shoot me a message or you can at me, whatever you want. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Peace, everybody.